Well, good evening, Lions fans. This is not our recap video. I'm actually going to try to wait to see if my son and I can link together by tomorrow to do our recap video. What I want to touch on is, as you can see on the screen, the loss of Aidan Hutchinson. He came in for a sack on Dak Prescott, and his leg got twisted up. And if the injury is as serious as it looked, he's going to be done for the season, if not longer. So if you check the thumbnail out on on our YouTube video, you will see the question that I'm posing. The question that I'm asking is, what next? With our best defensive player and hands down our best pass rusher, the player that draws attention from every team we play, the player that not only the left or right tackle, they need help from either a H back, a tight end, a fullback, or a receiver to chip and stop him from getting and disrupting the backfield. We just lost that type of player on the defensive line. Now, the Lions did put a beat down on the Dallas Cowboys 47-9, and some of the commentators, I'm not saying that they were saying that the loss of Hutchinson wasn't a big deal, but Tom Brady particularly was saying that the Lions are not a team to be played with and not a team that's messing around. But listen, this loss of Aidan Hutchinson, our boys are now 4-1. That's 5 games. That means there are 12 games to go, and we already had our bye week, so that those 12 weeks are in a row. This is gonna hurt, and Aaron Glenn is really showing that he has become a great defensive coordinator. The defense has looked well, but what are we going to do really without Aidan Hutchinson? If you look at the starting lineup today, we really had Aidan Hutchinson, who really was the only defensive end, and the other three players who played were defensive tackles. We don't have anybody on that other side, especially with Marcus Davenport already out. So we were really playing with three defensive tackles and one defensive end, even though Aleem McNeil did his thing today. I mean, he's not a pass rusher. He's not Warren Sapp or Aaron Donald in there. Let's be honest. He got pressure today, but he's not a guy who's going to have 12 to 16 sacks in a season. So what do the Lions do from here? Now, what I'm proposing is that we can go try to get Max Crosby or Hassan Reddick. Not both, because we can't get both, but we can at least try to get one of those guys. Why do our first? Let's start out with the Max Crosby, because Reddick is the obvious. Why do I say go get Max Crosby? I know that Max Crosby said after the game that the issue he had with his linebackers coach was no big deal. It was a love tap, a love push, or whatever. But it's very clear that Max Crosby is frustrated. And even if he didn't mean it like that, it comes across very bad when you treat your coach that way, when you go at your coach that way. It shows a level of disrespect. Now, listen, maybe they had that type of relationship that I don't know about, but it doesn't show very well. So I'm thinking that there could be a problem out there in Vegas. They did lose today. And what is it going to really hurt Brad Holmes to reach out to see, hey, you guys are not going anywhere. Let's just keep it real. What will it take to get Max Crosby out of there? You're already having issues with Devontae Adams. What is it going to take to get Max Crosby out of there and get him in Detroit? He played at Eastern Michigan. I think that if this was presented by his agent, I think that Max Crosby hands down would say, yes, I would love to go back to Michigan and play for the Lions, a team that is playing not only for the playoffs but for a Super Bowl. Then we have Hassan Reddick, the player who I think would be the easiest to get, because the Jets just offered him a 1 year deal. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the details what they offered him, but I do know that he turned it down. Would Hassan Reddick want to come to Detroit? If you ask his agent, my guess is that he would. Why wouldn't he want to come to a team that could possibly be Super Bowl bound? I think that Brad Holmes, I'm talking like right now, on the way home, back to Detroit, on the plane back to Michigan from Dallas, he needs to get on the phone. It's not going to hurt to make a phone call to Vegas, to make a phone call to Eastern New York and say, hey, I'm interested in Max Crosby. I'm interested in Hassan Reddick. What is it going to take to get those guys here? Now, unfortunately, because we just lost Aidan Hutchinson, it might cost more than it would have yesterday. I think that our boys could have got Hassan Reddick for a little cheaper, maybe a 5th round pick. But now the Jets, if Brad Holmes calls, they know that he's desperate. So they could bump it up and say, well, we'll take this and this, or, we're not going to do it for anything less than a third or something like that. And as far as Max Crosby, no matter when you go to get him, it's going to cost you something. So what do you think, Lions fans? Should and am I just panicking as a Lions fan? Should I just relax and see what happens next week against the undefeated NFC North leading Minnesota Vikings? Or are you with me? Do you think that we should go right now and try to get something so we can get on the field to replace Aidan Hutchinson while he's gone, probably for the rest of the season, and keep this playoff run going? All right, Lions fans, and all the rest of you, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell on our YouTube page. If you look on the screen, you can see our TikTok. You can go over there and follow us over there as well. And at the bottom, scrolling, you will see our Twitter/X page. You can go over there and give us a follow as well. That's all for this one. Holla at y'all later.